Hey MatPat, I wanted to make this video that's very important to me because I wanted to thank you for all the things you've done. You've been a big part of my life in the last few years, and it's very important for me to make this video. Hi, I'm Jonas. I'm a French-Canadian from Quebec, Canada. And yeah, it's been a few times I've re-recorded this video because I didn't have the right emotions. I forgot who I was speaking to, and so I've just found a life hack to just play one of your videos just under so I can address myself directly to you and not to a camera and my face that I see in the reflection. So yeah, this video is very important for me to make so that you can understand that you've been a big part of my life for a long time, and I want you to know how thankful I am of you. So I just wanted to tell you first that you're probably my favorite person ever. If I had a wish to spend a day with anyone, it would be you. I just like to spend a day and nerd out and talk about all the things we enjoy together, play video games together, and yeah, that would be one of my greatest wishes ever. I discovered you back then because I had a big FNAF phase, and I remember just watching a bit of your theories, but not too much at the time. But then when I was in 6th grade, a new video popped in my recommended feed, and it was the FNAF theory that changes everything. And to this day I think it's one of the theories that holds up the most. But it was at that time that I've been caught up, because not only did you make me go back into that fandom that I liked, but because I just appreciated how you told this video, how you explained it, and it made so much sense. And it's one of my favorite videos to this day. And so from this point on, I started watching a lot of other videos on the game theory and film theory channels, and you've made me discover things that I really enjoy, like Gravity Falls and Bendy and Doki Doki Literature Club, DHMIS and Saddlefingers. I've watched these videos a ton, the same ones, just over and over, just because I love them so much. At about the time that Avengers Endgame came out, I watched your prediction video about who would die, and I was going to see the movie with my dad and my uncle, and yeah, I told them before we arrived, hey, there's this theory that Black Widow will have to die because it will give the stimulation for Hulk to become green again and angry because he wasn't in the last movies, and so this emotion charge will just make him the Hulk again. And so I basically spoiled them Black Widow's death because of this, although it wasn't because of the same reasons in the movie. It was because of the Soul Stone and etc. But still, I think they were pretty mad that I spoiled them, although I told them it was just a theory, but they didn't understand that. Of course, they thought it was I just read an article and I just spoiled them because whatever, I was a kid and dumb, but that wasn't the case. So I've become more aware of not to watch your prediction videos as much, with my family at least. I joined you at the time that there was the PewDiePie versus T-Series battle. I was one of the first ones aware in my circle of friends because of the video you made. No one talked about T-Series at the time, but you were one of the only ones that made it, and so I brought this to the attention of my friends, and so all of the huge events of PewDiePie versus T-Series, the countdown, the music videos, and all of this started, and I could have shared this moment. I shared this moment with my friends because you made me aware of this. So I want to thank you for that. Then game theory became a huge part of my life too, because I started doing video essays about things you talked about in your theories, like how COPPA affects YouTube. I've done a school essay in ethics for that, to see if it was ethical to ban a lot of videos, because is it for children, is it not? Anyway, that I've made a schoolwork about that. Then I started really not only watching the videos, but watching you, spending time with you on a variety of different videos, in the St. Jude live streams, which are still to this date one of the best charity events there's ever been. It's just amazing for such a great cause. It was so entertaining. I remember just spending the whole day watching it, just cozy at home, winter day, watching this video. Not watching this video, watching this live stream with thousands and maybe hundreds of thousands, millions of other people. It was so cool seeing all of these other guest stars playing dumb games. From my point of view and your point of view, of course, they weren't dumb. They were just like the things we liked. Yeah, so that's the thing. I also watched you on Escape the Night with Joey Graceffa, your whole Game Lab show, and join you on the Help Wanted live streams. Because that was a big part after the Afton saga and after Five Nights at Freddy's ended. Now we're starting this fresh new storyline, and I've joined you, and I love to join you. These were some of the best lives I ever watched. After that, there was such a huge thing that happened. Food Theory. Food Theory came on in 2020, and it's for the first time I could really share my love for the theories and my love of spending time with you, specifically with my parents. Because, of course, like you said in your intro about Food Theory, for game theory and film theory, you had to play the game or you had to watch the movie to understand what it's talking about. But with Food Theory, it's so much more accessible, and so I've spent so much family time watching you and making cool observations about food, and I've learned so many lessons that now are either fun facts or things I really have changed the way I do things in my day-to-day life. Like, I now know because of Food Theory that supermarkets start with the fruits and veggie section so that you don't feel bad when you buy a bag of chips after. I know for a fact that all Froot Loops taste the same. I know for a fact that the sense of smell impacts the taste. I know that the KFC secret recipe probably involves citric acid. I'm now optimistic for the progress in food science, of how we can make synthetic food that's eco-friendly but tastes just like the same thing. I know that if I'm trapped in a grocery store, I just have to start a garden to survive. I know that the perfect way to stack a burger is in fact the Krabby Patty way. And I know for a fact that Santa wasn't invented by Coke. And that's a great conversation topic. I've talked about this with my friends about a week ago, so yeah. So I don't know if I forgot to talk about this, but because it's been a really long video. But I just wanted to say I loved this video that you made on food theory after you were called out for spreading misinformation on the food theory with milk. I love this video so much because it proves how much you're dedicated to all of your research. I get to learn things that are true but fun at the same time. You spend so much time verifying that everything you say is true so that it isn't misinterpreted or wrong. And it's just such a huge demonstration of hard work that you on Team Terrorist do, that it's just so inspiring and I think that everyone should work as hard as you. So yeah, I really admire that. But then I started watching the food theories with my mom, and from that point on I started watching other theories on other theory channels, your theory channels, the game theory and film theory. So we started playing a lot of video games together with my mom, and I spent a lot of difficult times playing video games with her because that cheered me up. And then we would watch your theories about them and understand things that we didn't. And I made the mistake to introduce her to FNAF. And ever since, we've spent so much time watching you play Final Fantasy, talk about it, and we've made a lot of activities centered about the FNAF universe. And I'm so thankful for that you brought us together. Last year, in my cinema class, I guess you could call it that, I made a short film about nerds in a high school not high school, but secondary school that we call in Quebec. And it's about nerds in secondary school that have a eco group, but they all get bullied all the time and don't get taken seriously, so they have to make a video about it. And it's inspired by the found footage, analog horror, and employee and training videos that you discuss over in film theory. That's inspired by, like I said, the things you discuss in film theory, and like I said, employee training videos like Omega Mart that you discuss in food theory. So yeah, that's I really start to bring my passion for the theorist channels into my projects. Yeah, so that's about it. After that, of course, style theory came out, and it's the same deal as food theory. It's other subjects that impact how I do things now, and also theories that I can enjoy watching with my family. So thank you for that too. The FNAF movie, I had a blast watching it, and when your scene came on, just outside shot from the outside shot from Sparky's, I heard your voice, and I was the first in the theater to scream, "MatPat! Yeah, it's MatPat!" And I was just so happy to see you part of this project that's so important for the whole community. And yeah, all of the theater cheered on after that, but I was just so happy that you were there. But also, I kind of I called it, because after you made your reaction videos to the FNAF movie trailer where you saw Dawko in it, I knew that you faced your reaction of being disappointed, because this is the only type of reaction that you would have had if you weren't in the movie. If you had said anything else, like, oh good, they're in the movies, or no, a MatPat that isn't in the FNAF movie would have been jealous of other YouTubers being there, and I knew that you would act this way if you weren't in the movie, so therefore I knew that you were pretending all of that. I know, big brain moment. So yeah, that's about the FNAF movie. About the new hosts, I'm really hopeful that they'll continue this legacy that you started. Really good. I already love Tom, Lee, and Amy. As for Santi, I'm a bit concerned that you give the host of Food Theory to someone who puts a quarter pounder from McDonald's over a burger from Five Guys. Like, who does that? But aside from that, he's a really cool guy, so yeah, that's a good choice too, and I'm hopeful that every new host will do a great job. One of my favorite types of theories are the ones where you do these silly experiments that, like on Food Theory, where you cook things from the drying machine, or is it both the washing machine and the drying. Yeah, so the silly experiments are my favorite because I really get to join you on your research and see the results at the same time as you, and just laughing at all of the things you didn't account for, and I just join you on this adventure of just trying to find the most efficient things, and so I really like that because I get to join you on this. It's not like we've done this and this happened. We get to see all of the process, and I really love that. I just love spending time. I just love videos that feel like I'm spending time with you. I kind of wish too I would be part of the Tears team, but as of now I'm studying to become a teacher, a primary school teacher, so that, yeah, it's not that I would love to be part of the Theorist, it's just, I don't think that's very much possible for me, but I'm looking forward to be a teacher because I want to teach them valuable lessons like you teach me in various episodes. I want to share the same joy for learning that you have brought to me. I want to make the world a better place for them too. I want to stimulate their curiosity. Yeah, so that's why I want to become a teacher too. Also this year I've started doing theater. A big part of why was because I know you've been a theater kid too, so and as of now I really enjoy my time in my theater with my theater friends. We're creating this play from the ground up, and I get to make my own character. It's really cool. The show is gonna be out in April, so that's really cool. To end, I wanted to talk about you specifically, like the things I like from you, like your curiosity, the fact that you're so joyful, that you're entertaining, that you speak the truth, that you're truthful with your community, that you don't, that you're really there to help. You're not trying to get money from our backs. You're just so honest, and I love that I can put my trust in. So I love that I can put my trust in someone like you. And I love your positive attitude to the way you treat things, the way you're always cheering up. I love the moments on GT Live where Ollie appears and you're just like always so positive, even though you were kind of having a hard time on FNAF. That was cool. So yeah. Last week, about a week ago, me and my mom were watching your GT Lives on Help Wanted 2, and she pointed out that we're kind of really similar in a lot of ways. I guess that you just had such of a big impact on me that I mimic your gestures, your way to speak, the way we explain things too, I guess. And yeah, I think the reason for that is that I like you so much that I want to be like you, because I think you're such a great person. And that you've brought so much to me and all of the theorist community. Although we're similar in a lot of things, but still, I gotta say, I don't know if I'm wrong here, but I feel like Diet Coke isn't as mind-blowing as you make it out to be. I don't know if it's just in Quebec, but I've tried in cans, in bottles, in soda machines at McDonald's, and it just tastes like nothing, so I'd say I'm more of a Diet Pepsi fan. That's a funny parenthesis, I don't know if I'll keep it in. I may not be the fan with the most merch, theory wear, although I know it's not merch, it's apparel and things like that. I know I may not be the most long-time fan, but the theorist channels have been a huge part of my life in the last 6 years, and have changed me forever. And not only that, but spending time with you, it's not just the theory channels, it's you specifically, MatPat. I love you so much. And that's why it's so important to me. That's why I'd call myself a theorist. That's why I call myself a theory channel fan. It's because you matter so much to me. And yeah, just a minute. Now, don't get me wrong, I really am sad that you're going away, but I'm really happy for you that you made this decision to care about the things that are important to you, like your family. I think that such that other people would just work and work and work just to please everyone else, but the fact that you step out to do the things that are important to you, I'm happy that you'll be happy doing that. And yes, I would have liked that you would stay, but in the end, it's not what I want. I want you to be happy with what you do. And if you asked me like just a day before the announcement, when I would think that MatPat would step out of his role, I would have said like maybe in 10 years. It just looked so great the last years, all of the things you've done over on all of the theorist channels, so much great big things that revolutionized YouTube. And I always told myself that yeah, in bad times a lot of things disappears, and I don't know where the media of entertainment is going, but I always had thought that you would keep on doing these theories, and that no matter what you'd still be there. But it's okay. I'm not mad at you for that. I just want you to be happy too. Yeah. The good side of things is that now I can, if I want to, I can make a tier list of all of the food theories that I like, because in a sort of a way they'll be complete. The MatPat era. But I'm fine with that. In the end, it's it's the right thing to do. Yeah, so you've been a huge part of my life. I wanted to say by ending this, like, I want you to remember that you're still my favorite person ever, and that I'll look forward to seeing you in other projects too. I'll continue supporting you, and I'll continue supporting the other channels with the new hosts, because they're still very good. But yeah, this video was important for me, and I want to tell you that if you won't ever want to visit Quebec, I don't think you've been to, because I remember in the St. Jude live streams you've made like a strange poutine, and you said that you never had poutine before. So I don't know why I say poutine in English. I'm French Canadian, I should say poutine. So I'll say poutine from now on. I know that you said that you never ever had poutine, so that if you never had one, it's that you've never been to Quebec. Because if you've been there, you should have tried it. It's our star dish of the province. So yeah, I'm basing the fact that you've never been to Quebec based on the fact that you never eaten poutine. But I just wanted you to say that you're very welcome here, that you'll enjoy it there if you plan a trip. We have a very rich culture, filled with lore. I'm gonna try to say it. Lore! That felt more right. We have a very rich culture with lore, not only in our history, but in our legends too. I didn't read all of them yet, but that's just some books that I have about the legends and tales from Quebec. We've got so much to offer, and yeah, if you want to plan a trip to Quebec, I think you would love it here. We're very welcoming. That's what most people say. Even French people say we're welcoming, and when French people compliments us, that's a huge achievement. So yeah, and if you go to Quebec, of course I wish to see you. I wish only if it's just for a minute or two. Of course, but just to say that I recommend that you maybe plan a trip to Quebec someday. Maybe more in Quebec City with the old Quebec than Montreal, because Montreal is more industrial, as Quebec City is more historic, and I think you most likely like the historic part. And just to finish, if you ever want to try poutine, just come over in the summer when there's the roadside restaurants we call casse-croûte, because McDonald's and other fast food chains that are around the world have their own version of poutine, but they never taste like the real thing. So if you just a bit of a recommendation, if you want to taste poutine, taste one from a small restaurant, just roadside restaurant that casse-croûte. I know some things like Michelin, La Florida, a lot of things, a lot of casse-croûte. The further away it is from the city, the better it gets. Hey, Editor Joe here, and I just realized how much of a mess my poutine segment was. So I decided to gather up my preferences and put them in this handy dandy chart. Now you'll notice that I didn't specify which casse-croûte to go to, and that's because all of them are so different. The point of going to a casse-croûte is the experience, the flies hovering all over you, the sticky benches, and a ton of other things that sound really appetizing. As for the fast foods, you can't go wrong with Ashton's or Fromagerie Victoria. Finally, for a bit of a fancy turn on your comfort food, I recommend Le Cochon Dingue. And if you want to try like, oh yeah, but how does McDonald's do their poutine here in Quebec? You can compare them, but I'd say if you really want to enjoy your first poutine, take one from a roadside restaurant and maybe one from a higher standard restaurant, but never in a fast food chain that exists elsewhere. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all of my Quebec segment. I wanted to thank you one last time for all that you've done. You've been really important for my life, for my social circle's life. I just spent so much time with you, and I'm so thankful of everything you've done. So, yeah. I think I've just scraped the iceberg, but I've already said a lot of things, and I guess there's a lot of more things to talk about, but I've talked about the important stuff. So, thank you, MatPat. And remember, it wasn't a theory, it was a video for you, MatPat. Thank you. See ya.
As a kid, I would always say, like, oh, I want to leave the world a slightly better place than when I entered it. I didn't know how. I just thought it was just like, I just want to make one person happy. You know, I just want to spread a little bit of joy into the world and spread a little bit of happiness and, you know, maybe share people with an enthusiasm for learning. Because I was fortunate to have really enthusiastic, awesome teachers, and that's what this show was born out of. Was just like, hey, let's be goofy for a little bit, and you know, maybe someone will learn something about physics or some stupid anecdote that'll be fun for them to tell a friend the next time they play the Mario game or whatever. And it's something so big, and it's just so honored. Let alone lasting 10 years. I wish I could be more articulate, right? Just, like, Steph and I, every year, would plan on it being our last, because it was like, it's gonna collapse, YouTube's gonna change, whatever, and who knows, it still might, but just the fact that it's been such a huge part of my life, and you guys have been such a huge part of my life and accepting of it, and like, and we've been able to do so much good, I think, in the world, and I want to do more good in the world. That's the thing. People are like, aren't you sick of doing it? And like, 10 years, you're gonna go 10 years more. I don't know, but somehow I want this to continue for as long as possible and do as much good out there, because that's what it's about. It's like, here, it's the best trophy I could ask for. I'm always so precise, and I always have to be perfect. And this showed me that it's okay to learn. Just embrace being bad at something and be supported by people around you. And now I got this guy. Thank you for supporting me, Bean. To see people unite for the cause of saving kids' lives, like, in a divisive time, like, I think you look around and people are like more divisive than ever and like more divided, and, you know, what do you believe on this or that? And the thing is, today we showed that you can unite for a greater good.
Yep.
And that you can unite to give children a chance at life. So thank you for that. I don't know. I think my mentality is a lot like what is it in Hamilton? Hamilton. It's like, what, I can't think of the song lyric right now, but it's like he's writing like he's running out of time, right? Like, why do you keep on writing like you're running out of time or whatever? And I feel like that I feel like that's me, and that's this channel, and that's this work.
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory. Welcome to Film Theory. Welcome to Food Theory. Welcome to Style Theory. Bendy, our little devil darling, happens to be the same devil ruling over Cuphead's Inkwell Isle, where he collects soul contracts, including that of the neighbor from Hello Neighbor. Oh yeah, okay.
How do you ride like you need it to survive?
Let's make it happen. What do you guys say? When there's so much competition on the platform, there's room for you. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Thank you, guys. Often are dishonest too much. If they do, I hope they change it. And with that.
He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Who you gonna call? Psychic friend, Fred Bear.
You do realize that lunch is the most important meal of the day.
Thought it was breakfast.
Some people say that, but you know, it's just a theory.
Is it possible that Deadpool is actually classical American author Ernest Hemingway?
And now it's time to see the fruits of our labor. Whip out those balls. Well, here I am.
As my gift to the Pope, I gave him a copy of Undertale. Let's do this!
Game Theory, gaming's tangential learning experience.
I just simultaneously whipped and nay-nayed!
Music Man!